The Ultimate Fighting Championship, also known as the UFC, is looking to bring its first event to Africa in 2022. While a city or a country has not been formally proposed yet, the fight promotion currently has 3 African-born champions, and they believe they can bring a massive show to the continent once they decide to host one. In this video, we will take a look at the stories and the careers of these 3 African champions. Let's take a look. The Rumble in the Jungle was a historic boxing event in Kinshasa that year on October 30th, 1974. George Foreman was an undefeated heavyweight champion and would face Muhammad Ali, who is considered as the greatest boxer of all time. The fight had an attendance of 60,000 people, and the fight was watched by a record-estimated television audience of 1 billion viewers worldwide, becoming the most watched live television broadcast at the time. Ali won by knockout, putting Foreman down just before the end of the 8th round. The fight was famous for Ali's introduction of the rope-a-dope tactic, which is still admired by boxing fans today. Based on the success of this massive event, it gives a signal as to what can be accomplished if the UFC holds its first show in Africa. Kamaru Usman became the first African-born champion in the UFC after beating Tyron Woodley in March of 2019 in Las Vegas. He is a Nigerian-born fighter that competes in the 170-pound division and currently resides in America. His family moved to Dallas, Texas when he was 8 years old, and he gained an interest in wrestling when he was in high school. After college, Usman was sidetracked by injuries and eventually abandoned his Olympic goal after failing to qualify for the 2012 US Olympic team trials, turning his attention to mixed martial arts instead. Since turning professional, he has a record of 19-1 and is currently undefeated in the UFC. In October of 2009, Israel Adesanya became the second undisputed African-born champ when he beat Robert Whittaker by knockout in Melbourne, Australia. He is also a Nigerian-born fighter that competes in the 185-pound division and currently resides in New Zealand. His parents wished for him and his siblings to have a high-quality education, so they moved to New Zealand as a family when he was 10 years old. Israel claims to have been bullied during his high school years and attributes the mistreatment he experienced to his decision to pursue martial arts later in life. When he was in college, he decided to pause his studies and pursue kickboxing instead. He found success in the sport and later transitioned to MMA. He currently has a pro record of 20-1 and looks to continue dominating in this weight class. Francis Ngannou became the 3rd African-born champion when he beat Stipe Miocic in March of 2001. He is a Cameroonian-born fighter that competes in the heavyweight division and resides in either Las Vegas or Paris, France. During his early years, he lived in poverty and had very little formal education growing up. He would work in a sand quarry while going to school in order to make some money. He was a big fan of Mike Tyson growing up, and he wanted to pursue a career in boxing. He ended up leaving his family behind and went on a trip that would change his life forever. He detailed the struggles that he had to go through in order to get to where he is today on Joe Rogan's podcast, and I highly recommend you check it out.
In fact, I grew up here. Most of you knew me before I even live here, which means it's possible. You know, as long as you believe in something, in a dream, as long as you have a dream and believe in yourself, I think a success is just a matter of time.
Recently, Ngannou returned back to Cameroon where he received a hero's welcome. So what are your thoughts about the UFC coming to Africa? Do you believe they can hold successful events in a post-COVID-19 African economy? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. My name is Asher, and I'll see you in the next video.